Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Dead Cells, where we have a little bit of momentum going here, I think. I do not think we need to go back and prove ourselves against the giant again. I want to take this positive feeling and try to roll it into a victory. So we're going to today aim for just taking the easiest path to the Hand of the King and see if we can't maybe pull this off, because honestly, I'm pretty heartened by how much damage we did to him yesterday before getting hit the first time. I also kind of want to force green. I wanna unlock the giant killer. I'm very curious about the giant killer, and I think that in general, shield play is just really fun. I know I don't always use the shield all that effectively, so if we're gonna force green, I think this is the way to go. I'm a little leery of Mushroom Boy when we're in melee mode, because little dude does sometimes create some problems. But in general, I think this is a pretty strong set of starting equipment. I mean, it's hard to argue with that outcome. Oof, not a great start. It's alright, we are definitely still within combo range, and I mean, obviously, it'd be cool to, nope, get down. Oh, this is bad. There we go. Very difficult to actually get damage on that shield guy. I think we'll stick with this Moonstone Amulet. So it would be lovely if we could continue our little streak of getting the scrolls and both the doors. And to be honest with you, though, I'm getting a little nervous about the fact that we haven't seen a scroll yet. Oh, hey, I was going to change up our diet. You know what? Let's go ahead and do that right now. Alright, it's important to have variety, you know? Have we done... I don't think we did vegetarian yet. That turns the big health into it's a big ol' radish. It sure is, man. The size of that radish is considerably larger than our dude's head. I do not, in general, recommend that you eat a vegetable that is larger than your own head. Because, like, what if you lose control of the situation? You are going to pay the price. That's what's going to happen. I'm just saying, a radish would absolutely eat you if it thought it could get away with it. Can't trust them. Alright, well, this is not looking great for our time door, because we still have not seen even one scroll. But, you know, it's... Oh. The slowdown is potentially getting us in some trouble here. I hate it when the enemies attack at very slightly different speeds than normal. So yeah, I feel like I'm a little bit of a broken record on this, because I think I have said this during maybe both of the last two videos, but you just have to accept that you're not always going to be able to hit both the doors, because the positions of the scrolls play such a huge part in whether you can pull this off, and obviously it is not worth skipping a scroll to make sure you hit one extra item. Yeah, the slows are a really good thing if you're expecting it, if you're ready for it. If it catches you unawares, it can be very much the opposite. Oh, this could be dangerous. You got him? Ooh, that almost went sideways. Again, a lack of reliability. Why am I having such a hard time climbing this wall? There we go. As much as I do love Wings of the Crow, I think probably not really appropriate for a green build. There we go. There's a scroll. Finally. I think, although I am not necessarily great against all of the enemies in the game with a shield just yet, I do think we're pretty good against the Hand of the King specifically with a shield. So that's part of the reason I kind of want to force green. Like, his attacks are mostly big and predictable, and we've fought him enough that we have a good grasp on his timings and behaviors. I do not feel like I am surprised by him all that often. Now granted, I do still do a bad job of blocking his attacks sometimes. But that's got less to do with surprise and more to do with, you know. Is this one where he gives us food? You know, I would love another big old radish. Yeah, look at that. 600 gold worth of radish. I don't know what the conversion rate is on gold to dollars. But that's a pretty valuable radish, is my suspicion. Okay, is there anything important that we are missing? There's an item that we could sell right there. We didn't grab the chest yet, did we? Okay, the answer is, yeah, there's some important stuff. Let's start with that chest. So what is the easiest path? If we're trying to get to the Hand of the King in the way that is most likely to leave us with all of our flask charges and everything, do I want to swap out for this? It's a lot more damage. But also, the flint gets me hit because I am too stubborn not to always go for the crit. I'm going to take it. I think it is an upgrade. We're just going to play better, you know? We're not going to make the bad decisions. How about that? I probably don't want to go to the sewers. I probably don't want to go... Oh, I'd have to buy this. What am I doing? I probably don't want to go to the Arboretum in the Morass. So, yeah. At the risk of maybe taking the same path too many times in a row, I think we do want to go through the Arboretum and probably from there, the Prison Depths. It's like, even though that's not necessarily the safest thing, it is extra power, and we could certainly use it. I mean, is it worth doing it if we're going to skip the cursed chest? I'm actually not sure. I mean, it's more gold, it's more cells. Probably the answer is yes. But who knows? Maybe we'll feel like we're in a position where we can take the chest. I'm trying to think, like, what would be the green items that I would need to feel comfortable taking on a cursed chest with melee weapons? I do feel like when you do something like that, you're putting yourself in a position to have just, like, one thing go phenomenally stupidly wrong. Okay, hard to pass up a death orb in this situation, I think. Yeah, that's a fine shield and everything. But, you know, death orb. It's very difficult to argue with the death orb. Okay, so what was it, 20 cells? Yes, we have 20 cells left on the giant killer. You know, we do still have some green ranged weapons that we could unlock. If this turns out to be a big slow sword, maybe it would be good to pick up the ice shards as well. You could just sort of like throw them ahead of you. As I remember it, they don't require you to stop sprinting to throw them, a lot like the bleeding dagger, the throwing knives. So that might actually be a smart thing to pick up. Just charge in, slow enemies, and then get them with the slow weapon while they are slowed. And now we have a question. Do we want to take the YOLO heart? You know what? I think so. Let's do it. Maybe not the best move to take in terms of assuring my offensive potential. Hey, what else would we take? If we're talking about taking the ice shards, then probably we're looking at Heart of Ice. Gastronomy, obviously, is pretty good. I tend to only think of it when we're going green, despite the fact that there's really nothing about gastronomy that requires you to be green to get good benefit from it. Would you please detonate? Oh, you're kidding me. Of course, the instant I turn around, surprise, it's invincibility dummy. Okay, I'm gonna lure them back over this way and give them the orb. I do so hate the training dummies. Maybe that's a good reason that this was not the correct way to go. Just take any path that doesn't require you to deal with enemies being suddenly invincible all of the time. Alright, we got everything of value there. So I don't think that the time door here is a reasonable thought at all. We're still very much on track for the combo door, though. Oh, you know, I don't even have my mushroom boy out. Right. Right, everything's always invincible. What am I thinking? I'd be allowed to attack an enemy. Hey, did you see that? I managed to restrain myself from going for the crit in a situation where it absolutely 100% for sure would have gotten me hit. This is a good omen. I am choosing to take it as a good omen. There's no sense in us buying a new weapon when our whole plan is to unlock a new weapon with cells anyway. I'm not sure exactly when we want to do that. Maybe like right before the Concierge? So that way we have a chance to test the boss damaging capabilities of this thing in a relatively safe environment. I don't know why I'm bothering to grab this key. We are definitely not going to make use of it. I don't know, I probably should have taken spike damage there. I'm really grateful that I didn't. What does this do? Victims release a toxic cloud with each hit. You know, that's a pretty good version of that dagger, honestly. And again, the instant I was thinking about going over there and attacking that guy, all of a sudden, invincible. That's very counterproductive, Mushroom Boy. That was pretty weird. Can the flint deflect attacks? Because if not, I'm not 100% sure what happened with that guy's grenade. Maybe Mushroom Boy can deflect attacks if he charges them? Oh, see, that's a situation where it would have been a really good idea to go for the crit, but I was feeling insecure. I'll say this, a green build with a big slow weapon certainly does keep your adrenaline up. You never feel like you're going to fall asleep during a run where you are using a weapon this slow. Every moment is tense. So if we don't take... I'm trying to remember. If we don't take the graveyard path, do we know another biome at that stage of the run that definitely has a food shop? Does the Slumbering Sanctuary have one? Also, is that easier than the graveyard? It might not be. I mean, the Slumbering Sanctuary is a place where, like, a thing can go wrong and you can get totally pulped by a golem. But aside from that, I don't think it's actually all that difficult. It does have a lot of, Oh, I hate this. Yep. Great. Cool. Elite just gets to damage you with no recourse. That does really suck, the Elite quality that's just everything within a huge, huge distance takes automatic damage that's unavoidable and unrollable. Is this even good? Honestly, yeah. Yeah, it's pretty good. Alright, I'm going to take that. We're going to worry about dismantling that thing in a second. So that was completely unavoidable, and it killed our combo. Gotta be honest with you, kind of annoyed about that one. Because, like, we couldn't even have just run past him, right? He was in the critical path. That just sort of feels like the level designer, the random level generator, just decided at this point you will lose your combo. Everybody pretend you didn't see my hand twitch there, which caused me to just put my shield up for absolutely no reason. It's fairly embarrassing. Alright, a fair amount of the time, the best strategy for dealing with the dummies seems to be just run away until it's no longer a problem. Yeah, man, we really need a weapon with slightly better damage. This thing not quite getting the job done in one crit is not gonna cut it for very long. I think it's maybe still possible for us to pull the combo out. I was kind of hoping Knife Guy was gonna follow us here. Alright, you know what? We'll go up and around. We'll kill the dummy and then we'll come back to him. Those things sure do have a lot of health. Alright, 26. I mean, I guess we hope that there are enemies in this little side area. Nope, straight to the end. It does feel a little weird to be hoping that we're going to have to fight a bunch of stuff. But I could really use another opportunity for an even higher damage weapon. Yeah, alright, I don't think we need any of that stuff. I mean, it does not make a lot of sense to spend money at this point in the run, pretty much no matter what we find. Boy, this area is weirdly constructed. I should probably be trying to use my shield to reflect projectiles a little bit more. But you know, with the... well, that's probably the end of our combo hopes. With the way that enemies always try to fire their bomb projectiles just over your head, probably it wouldn't end up working out anyway. They always try to land them just behind you. You have to time it quite well and also jump to catch them, and as we've seen in the past, that kind of behavior can really get you caught out sometimes. So I don't know, maybe it would be worth spending money on a new item, a new weapon, just to get us to the point where we can actually kill enemies without having to charge up quite so much. I kind of hate the broadsword. Its attack animations are just too slow for a weapon that has the reach that it has. Even weapons with considerably more reach are sometimes very difficult to use. Or at least I find them very difficult to use when they are that slow. Alright. Carrot just sitting on the ground in here. Perfectly normal. Definitely a thing worth jamming into my mouth. Ah. I tried to roll behind them, but they were too close to the wall. I'll be honest with you, don't feel like I'm necessarily playing all that well here, but I'm just going to try to remind myself that I also was thinking that yesterday. And look what happened. Ignoring the thing that just happened there. Look what happened. Well, that's not ideal. Okay, let's just divest ourselves of some of these enemies. Nope. Oof. Another situation where you just, like, very unlikely you're going to be able to avoid taking damage. A lot of elites are just like that. Alright, pretty sure we want to go to the side prison area. So this time there's not a room above us. There was nothing on this ledge. Is there anything else that we want to grab while we're here? I guess I missed a bunch of enemies way back there. It's probably worth going for it. May as well get all of that money. So, if we're not going to get a free weapon from the combo door... Do I think it would be worthwhile to buy something? Maybe we're best off just hoping to find something compelling in the cursed chest? Tide us over for a little bit until we think it is time to buy the giant killer? Yeah, I kind of think that's the right move. And listen, if we end up getting murdered by the curse, we're not that far into the run. It's not that big of a deal to just restart. Okay, so prison depths. And we're doing, like, kind of moderately okay on health. Sadly, green is just not, it's not the easiest color to carry a curse with. Alright, and pick him the, no. I always check in, even if I'm, like, pretty sure I didn't pick up any blueprints, because why not, right? So do we want to grab... Maybe we end up with, like, YOLO Heart, Heart of Ice, and Gastronomy. A Frostbite is way less important than these other two. Let's take Gastronomy now. It was probably better to take the YOLO Heart than to take Frostbite. Or a shield skill when we don't necessarily know that we're going to actually continue using a shield. Well, that is going to make it easier to survive. Okay, this is a temporary maneuver. Just keep our shield in storage here. We are not going to do a whole crossbow run. Hard to argue with the damage. Oh, that's a bad time. We got a little bit lucky on that one. Trying to make sure he doesn't decide to jump up on the ledge with us there. Okay. Curse cleared, and we got some extra power here. Oh, I should probably have my Mushroom Boy out. Mushroom Boy combines with the crossbow a lot better. Oh, that's bad. Okay. Everything's fine. Mushroom Boy's got it. It's all under control. Because you know who I think of when I think control? Why, it's Mushroom Boy, of course. Did they change this? Yeah, now it only does the big overhead. When did they patch that? Because last time we used this thing, it still had the 2-hit combo for its melee attack, right? Ooh, a good tonic. You know, honestly, I kind of want to get rid of the Mushroom Boy. Just make things very unreliable. That's pretty cheap, and I think it is, in general, a pretty good item, even though we do tend to try to keep our health at a reasonable level here. Oh god. We have got to kill this elite. Nope, failed. There we go. I think I like being able to start an oil fire with every... That's the wrong button. There we go. I think I like being able to start an oil fire with every stomp. There's some utility there. Missed my stomp entirely. Okay. So yeah, right before we finish the ramparts and take on the boss, we'll swap over to Giant Killer. Right when we finish the ramparts, rather. And then we will stop doing crossbow play there. It's effective, don't get me wrong. It's just not... I do not want it to be the only way that I can play the game, you know? I'm glad that I crouched here for this long, because I wouldn't have noticed that otherwise. Not really who I mean, I knew that there was fog. I knew the predator shape in the darkness didn't necessarily have to be a knife thrower. But still I was a little startled when it turned out to be the thing it turned out to be. I got so many explosives. Oh, okay. Everything's fine. Fine and very normal. Fine and very normal is a pretty good name for my autobiography. Fine and pretty normal, the SB story. Are we still doing ironic autobiography names? Is that still a cultural meme? Oh hey, a legendary... I think that's the boy's axe in there? That might be interesting. It does give us a functional ranged weapon. Oh. I don't know how that guy didn't attack me. Oh. Good job, Death Orb. I almost certainly would not have noticed that otherwise. Well, I do not like the number of things that I am seeing moving around down here. Kind of teleported upward through that. Alright, do we want to take this? It's tier 5. So roots the victim to 740 DPS. Honestly, I don't think so. I mean, like, it's fun to get a cool off-color item, to be able to use an item in a stat and mutation build where it might otherwise not fit, but I just don't think that one really, I don't think that one really accomplishes anything for us. Now remember, there are no combo doors on the, on this biome. This is a bad idea. I should not have transferred sides. I should have let him commit to his attack first. It sure is fun to blow things up. There's something just inherently a lot of fun about explosions. I don't think we want any of this stuff. That way goes to the ramparts, right? This is the morass. You know, if we're gonna hold on to our crossbow, the ossuary is actually not that hard with a crossbow, and then we swapped the giant killer afterward. Yeah, I think actually that's what I'm gonna do. But first, no, it looks like we cleared the place out pretty thoroughly. So here's a question. As far as cells go, are we going to try to plow a bunch of cells into the next level of the forge right now? It doesn't feel awesome, but like, what else am I going to do with this number of cells each run? Am I just going to unlock everything? It feels like there's such a strategic gain in unlocking a thing for the first time when you actually want to use it. I mean, I guess we can rack up all these mutations just in case we actually want them, even though it seems like many of them I would never ever take, like this one. I don't know. For right now, let's not do anything with it. Okay, you are going to give me... I guess Heart of Ice? Even though it's not, like, directly relevant now, it will be relevant eventually. Yeah, it's better to do this than take something that, like, there's nothing that would be hugely important with us on the explosive crossbow strategy. Like, just taking something that isn't even a good option and then having to respec it later, it doesn't make sense. This is the right way to go. I will say, I know I'm not using it a lot, but I honestly I really do like the fact that they shortened the melee combo down to just one strike. I think that's a good change. I want to make sure we see that guy, or kill that guy before he sees us. So you might have heard the little knife dude start his teleport a couple of times there. It seems like they can't actually teleport if they're taking damage. It's just another way in which the Death Orb is a fantastic piece of equipment. Alright, what are we looking for here? You know, a Crusher's not bad. I don't know that the Crusher is better enough than the Death Orb to warrant us spending money on it, though. Oh, this is bad. Ooh, thank God for the iframes on the roll. I hate those guys. I hate them so much. I forgot they were here, or I would have been much more leery about coming to this biome. Shoot, did this guy? Yep, he did see us. Alright. I was trying to aggro him in a situation where we were going to have a little bit of control over what happened. And it did work out eventually, but it was harrowing the entire time. It feels a tiny bit unsporting. And how did I manage to run out of ammo? Ah, my combo, you monster. I mean, the ossuary is pretty long. We probably still have a lot of time. Okay. Sorry, and I know this isn't necessarily a great excuse, given that this is kind of part of my job, but I am really, really not feeling super chatty right now. Okay, look, I'm gonna level with you a little bit. I've been having some problems with my mental stuff, my mental and emotional things, the last 2 or 3 days. And that's usually how it goes. When things get bad for me, it's usually like a spell that lasts like, I don't know, a few days, up to a week maybe, and then things kind of sort of return to normal. And it does make it hard to perform, if that's not too grand a word to use for the part of this thing I'm doing where I do the talky parts. That's the industry lingo there, the talky parts. But, you know, I certainly don't want to, I don't want to try to paint my situation as being more difficult than it is. It's just that it's been kind of tough. Honestly, getting to play Dead Cells is really helpful. Games like Dead Cells... I play a lot of strategy games on the channel, obviously. Although, I guess that's been a little less true recently. It will become true again. Don't you worry. We are not moving away from strategy games in any intentional way. Oh, that was a real bad... That was a real bad jump. But I find that games like Dead Cells, games that require my whole brain, require me to be paying attention with my entire head all at once, can be actually pretty helpful, because they make it impossible for me to focus on what's going on inside my head. It sounds like actually it would be detrimental. But, if part of your issue is that you have a tendency to fixate unhelpfully, and we're going to avoid this guy for now, we'll come back and kill him later, when we don't have a combo to protect. Yeah, if part of your stuff is that you fixate unhelpfully, my experience has been that one of the best things you can do is force your brain to do something that it actually has to, pay attention to full strength. This one just doesn't have any stuff in it. What the hell? Probably a lot of other people out there experience this as well. It's a little bit like how sometimes it can be very difficult to pay attention when you're 100% focused on a thing, right? Like, this is why people doodle in class, right? Because you need to give some of your brain another task in order for the rest of your brain to be able to do the thing it's supposed to be doing. It's sort of like that. It's a version of that thing. And Dead Cells sure does, at times, take my entire brain to play well. Oof. Hey, that guy has a large sword. That's true. He remembered. Anyway, the long and the short of it is, I'm happy I'm here playing Dead Cells. That's really the big takeaway. Man, it has been a little while since I played a traditional fantasy thing, though, hasn't it? I'm not trying to claim any special insider information. Don't read anything into this. But there is a Total War Warhammer DLC that is not far out. I do not know anything that you do not know about that at the moment. We'll definitely get into that when it comes out. We certainly don't need to do anything here now. It's good to remember that this is here, though. And at some point, humankind will happen. This is probably not, like, in the middle of the Dead Cells series. It's probably not the best place to be making announcements about what strategy games may or may not occur on the channel, so... but, people do ask about the Endless games. Would you come down? Jesus. The guy in his incessant hovering. Telltale hover boots. And I do still kind of want to go back to Endless Legend and try to rack up some community patch wins on Endless. Root Grenade 4++ with oil stuff. I think I'm gonna keep our current items. I'm a little surprised to see rank 4 treasure here, given that we were able to pull higher level stuff from earlier biomes and everything. I don't know. We'll see. I'm not promising anything, which means I probably should not be saying anything. But, I do love a good strategy game. I think partially too, it's that, like, Desperados has been filling that itch for me, even though it is not a strategy game in any of the ways that people probably are usually thinking when they say the word strategy. It's like a very weird RTS. It's kind of remarkable how stealth games as a genre work, because there's often not a huge amount of actual moment-to-moment gameplay mechanics similarity between stealth games, but there are just like things about that genre of game that are indelible. Like, that Mark of the Ninja is a stealth game, and that Metal Gear Solid is a stealth game, and that Hitman is a stealth game, even though you're not really doing the same actions all that much in those games. Okay, that is a thing we will worry about after we hit our combo, which I think we can still do. And by that token, Desperados is absolutely a stealth game, even though it does not feel in the moment-to-moment gameplay like any of those games I just said. Invisible Ink is another good, strong example of this effect. I should not have jumped up right in front of him. I could have just waited for him to turn around. Okay, if we are smart, we can still make the combo thing happen. Probably. Yes, there's definitely enough enemies. Oh, hold on. This guy's getting it. Alright, so up here there's like a bunch of guys. Okay, yeah. I should have known. This is not actually going to count as this number of enemies, because the individual small slimes are not worth a point on the combo meter each. But we are very, very close now. Hooray! A situation where we can get kill number 60 in absolute safety. Gosh, Invisible Ink's a real good game, huh? That's a thing I haven't thought about in a very long time. I really just love Clay's work. Clay is my favorite kind of game studio, which is not, you know, please don't read this as a dig on anybody, because obviously there are game studios I love very much that do not do this thing. But I really love the Clay thing of, like, we're going to make games at a consistently really great quality, but all of our games are going to be quite different. And I guess you could argue that there's maybe some significant similarities between... Okay, we should probably... you know what? We don't need to do that. We don't need a cursed scroll. But we can get the cursed scroll and then come up here and fight these guys. Yeah, I think we're gonna go for it. I feel confident enough in our loadout. And we can clip this elite, too, since we hit our combo goal and everything. No, don't you dare drop a ton of swords on me. No, we don't need that. You know, I'm thinking like Clay, Supergiant. Supergiant is another studio that's like this, where it's like 100% success rate. You know, speaking of, I mean, first of all, obviously, speaking of Supergiant, very excited about the fact that we got a release trailer for Hades. Unfortunately, the release trailer just says, yeah, it'll be out in fall sometime. Good luck waiting, everybody. I would have preferred a little bit more information. Alright, we're doing it. We're doing it. I feel like this is a little bit risky. Hey, what if we got an even more better explosive crossbow? This is, it does just have 20% raw bonus damage on it. Yeah, it is for sure a better crossbow. What am I doing? This is the button I wanted. I cannot wait for Hades to hit full release, and obviously, the moment it does, we'll be right back in there. I really, really, really want to see how that story concludes, which is like... That is definitely the first time I have ever felt that way about a roguelite. That is not usually the thing that you're after in a roguelite. I don't necessarily love the approach from below thing here. Oh god. I was really hoping he wouldn't see us until we were ready to take him. Yeah, this is actually 100% terrifying. I do not feel like this was necessarily a good idea. 4. That could go real sideways right there. Okay. There we go. Had to move fast on that one. Didn't want to give that guy time to start flying. I'm a little disappointed that we didn't find like some interesting skills or something, but we are still, for sure, going to make great use of this extra scroll that we got. Alright, so now are we actually done? I mean, there's a shop there. There's one enemy in a side room that we should go over there and get him, because I want to grab the carrot anyway. Remember, our crossbow is plus 50% damage at full health, which is pretty compelling. Although, I guess we're about to get rid of this crossbow, so maybe never mind. Okay, no. Oh, I got sidetracked. My brain stuff, you know. What I was gonna say is, hey, oxygen not included is like done, right? And it has like a goal and a thing you can work toward to beat it. That's probably a thing that's worth revisiting at some point. Yeah, let's just go ahead and go Black Bridge. So are we going to keep our very, very good crossbow? Or are we going to get the giant killer now? If we hadn't just picked up a version of the crossbow that had plus 50% damage while our health is full and everything, I would definitely just go for the giant killer, but honestly, I kind of just want to use this through the boss fight. I don't think any of these are upgrades for us, which is a real shame given how hard we worked on this combo. Did I actually get all those cells? No, I did not. You do have to wait. Here, grab this. You know, actually, new outfit is maybe a good place to spend some cells. Do we wanna unlock ourselves a new outfit? Celebratory outfit for getting to the new difficulty plus beating the giant? I gotta be honest with you, I really like a great big eye pauldron. I mean, we could unlock a different thing that has an eye pauldron. Did we get Loyal Hand of the King outfit? Is kind of a weird thing now that we know that we're the king. Did we get an outfit for beating the giant? No, I guess you don't usually get the outfits while you're still getting weapon blueprints from them. I think we're gonna keep the crossbow for the moment. We're gonna take on the old concierge here with just the crossbow, and hopefully, like, do a good job this time and not take a huge amount of damage from his stupid mobile damage shield. It's not that hard to dodge, and yet somehow I keep doing a crummy job. I mean, the damage output's pretty solid. Why did I stop and decide to shoot at him right there? Okay, very important to get to the other side of him before that happens. Now see, this is the part where it gets dangerous. When he starts doing the leap while he has the damage shield, you can sometimes find yourself in a situation. Oh, come on. I'm very frustrated about that. We absolutely should have gotten the no-hit door there. Alright, well, don't want this great owl. I do want this scroll fragment, of course. You know, honestly, we're doing really well on stats. 13 green coming out of the first boss fight feels pretty damn good. Okay, between these two, honestly, I think probably the Slumbering Sanctuary is a better play than the Stilt Village. I really don't like the Stilt Village, as I probably I've made that clear in the past. I might keep the crossbow going for another biome here. I'm trying to think. This is the one where we're gonna be fighting the golems and stuff. Yeah, we're just gonna pour a bunch here. Wow, really? I guess it only increments at 10s, so when we get to 500 cells, it'll jump up to 10%. And then you get my new outfit, I guess. We just keep on rolling. I mean, if we're gonna use the... This feels dangerous. If we're gonna use the giant killer to hopefully slay some serious bosses, I guess getting it as late as possible makes a lot of sense. Apologies for the kind of boring run. It is certainly getting the job done, though. I want to feel... Ooh. I want to feel more competent at the game, and I definitely would feel more competent if I didn't feel like I was kind of chained to gimmicks to get our wins. Right, like even though we didn't crossbow for that giant victory, we still did the alchemical thing, and that the alchemist weapon feels a little bit like a cheat to me. Like it's so good. Again, this might be a thing where like I still have not actually watched good players play the game. This might be one of those things where like I am claiming a thing is really great, while the accepted wisdom is that it is actually terrible, and everybody in the comments is laughing at me right now. Totally might be the case. So I'm very dedicated to just using the, does that? Nope, it does not ever dissipate. Very dedicated to using the bolt, but there are a lot of situations here where it probably makes more sense to just melee attack. For example, where these bats are involved, the melee attack comes out so much faster. Oh, is he not going to teleport after me? Huh. Okay, well that was nice of him. It's trying so hard, it wants to get him. And he wants to get me too, clearly. Whew. Yeah, if I had not melee attacked there, that would have been real bad. Oh, hey, it makes you invincible. Or invisible. I mean, basically invincible. So yeah, we're sort of on that gimmick again. The gimmick with which we beat 2 cells. Turn invisible a lot. Let your crossbow be your guide. Let's not cross a bunch of traps while we're at 42 kills. Oh, maybe we actually don't have an option. Yeah, we have to go that way. Well, that's disappointing. Okay. Ooh. This is like the one thing that could still go horribly wrong is I could just step on some spikes for no reason. Let's be real. There's not one thing that could still go horribly wrong. I am capable. Let's not underestimate me. I am capable of ruining this in all kinds of different ways. So it looks like we have a fog guy. Yep, right there. I almost didn't jump. And the moment I did jump, I was like, you're being silly. Obviously, that's just going to impact off the platform you're standing on. But I'm glad I did. I love to stomp on enemies, but I should really stop doing it in situations like that. Because that is how we get hit. Dropping down and just catching a projectile right full in the face. I know we're not actually using our tonic very much, but I feel better with the tonic. It's like a security blanket. It's like, well, if I did get hit, I know I could figure out a way to survive it, and that makes me calmer. No, the corner doesn't go anywhere. This is the only way forward. Yeah, see, that probably should have been a shot and then a melee, right? Oh, that's the wrong direction. Damn this fog. This is a nightmare. Where the hell is the fog? I mean, he's going to be over to the right further, obviously. Again, definitely a melee situation. Fortunately, the oil makes him very visible. It's like Hollow Man. You know how everything is like the ending sequence of Hollow Man? It's just another one of those things. Okay, this guy right here. This is our guy. Alright, combo secured, and hopefully it'll be something fun. I mean, we don't really need it to be a weapon. So I guess I'm hoping it'll be a skill. We're probably running up on time to replace the Death Orb, right? As a completely damage-focused skill, it's been long enough since we picked it up that if we were to pick up something new, it would almost certainly be a hell of a lot more DPS. Alright, the Sanctuary no longer slumbers. Do I want to go all the way back, or do I want to just run back? I guess I want to go all the way back because I want to have access to this. We're going to end up fighting an awful lot of enemies this way. But it's fine. We have good weapons. Wow, we are really not dealing that much damage. I just so badly want this to stop existing. Sometimes I feel like they wake up when you're still really far away. Do we want to go back? I mean, I'm sure there's more stuff that would spawn up here. But maybe not. Where's the damn dummy? There it is. Oh, I hate this. I mashed the tonic button. We're missing like 10 health. This is not the best tonic of all time. Oof. I forgot that the, oh dear. We're actually gonna die. Oof. Thank God for gastronomy. Yeah, I forgot that the golems had the ground pound. So that that ground pound that he used that pulls all the stones up from the ground, if you get hit by it, if you are on the ground when the stone part reaches you, it stuns you in place. Wait, did I grab the wrong mutation? Yeah, I totally have necromancy. I didn't mean to have necromancy. I've had the wrong thing this whole time. I mean, I guess this is a better thing than the thing I would otherwise have taken. Do we want to... You know what, honestly? We're still only seeing items that are one tier above our Death Orb. But... No, I don't think I want to swap. Still like Death Orb. Yeah, okay, well, I need to make a little change here. So do we want to go back this way? Let's see what's through here first. Yeah, we're going to have to respec our mutations, though, because I just clicked on the wrong thing entirely. I mean, we do have the invisibility. I suppose there's no reason to think we can't do this. With the golem, things could get a little scary. But we will figure it out. We are taking all of the scrolls. Do I want a wolf trap? Is this better or worse than a root grenade? I think the answer is no. Yeah, I think the answer is no. I do wish that picking stuff up didn't kill your invisibility. Because again, cowardice. Once we're working with a melee weapon, I'm going to be a lot more reluctant to take on these cursed chests, so this is probably a good time to be doing it. Oh god, he's an elite. Okay. Ooh. Yeah, I don't care for that. I don't care for elites with their big damage skills just spawning right in front of us. I'm gonna just ignore that guy. He won't execute his pull on us unless we aggro him, so let's just not aggro him. Presumably there are more enemies above that, but I really want to avoid fighting golems while we're cursed, if I can. Lots of other kinds of enemies that I'd feel much more comfortable taking on. It looks like this area is gonna suck horribly. Well, I guess the most important thing is that we start by killing that guy. Alright, I'm gonna let us get invisible again, then we're gonna go over and clear out these dudes over here. Just wait for them to group up a little bit. When these two are walking away, I think is going to be our moment. Ah, they move at such different speeds. Alright, let's just clear you two up. There we go. Those guys up there on that ledge don't see us yet. Is it just the two of them? Okay, this is easy enough. Okay, two more. And then we will go back and be thorough after we have broken our curse. Of course, it goes without saying, we are going to have to kill at least one more training dummy. Actually, no, this will totally work. Ooh, okay. I mean, I don't really have an option. If I want to fight stuff, we gotta just commit down here. Alright, there's a golem over there. We're just not gonna get close enough to him for him to wake up. Ooh, okay. So this here is a situation where the tonic's actually very helpful. Okay, we already got our guaranteed food for this area, right? And I do not remember, like I was saying before, I do not remember if there is a food shop. There's still a path over here that we haven't taken. Do we want to go back and fight that golem? You know what? It's probably not worth it. Let's go back through here though and see what this little branch over here hides. Very tense, if you couldn't tell. Okay, apparently it hides like a whole additional area. We are very not done yet here. Probably one of those situations where I should have just meleeed. I think I do want to fight the golem. Alright, here we're gonna just smash him over the face with it over and over again. You know what? It may well be the case that when we're in close range, it's always better to just do the melee attack. And actually, it seems to have a significant amount of knockback, which I don't think I had realized previously. Okay, this was absolutely worth coming over here for. Yeah, alright, let's do it. Yeah, the melee attack's really good. Oh, there really is like a fairly huge area left over here. So, alright. We'll go see what those are. So we can go Sepulchre and Clock Tower out of here. To be perfectly honest with you, I kind of think Sepulchre might, well... Sometimes stuff can go really, really sideways in the Clock Tower. There's some very annoying enemy types in there. But there's nothing in there that I think is, like, anywhere near as dangerous as Fat Mummy, which is the canonical name for that enemy, by the way. So, okay, we do have to drop down here and deal with this guy. I mean, we don't have to deal with him. I could just run away. But I think we can deal with him, and as such we should. So that goes to there. There's a door down here, though. This is the spike pit, which we will not fall for. So wait, what is this? Oh, it's just okay. One of the cell doors that we had not yet hit. No, thank you. I don't think I knew that there was a connection to the cavern here. I guess we haven't done this area all that much. So, Clock Tower versus... I think maybe it is Clock Tower, actually. And this is an area where the crossbow starts to feel a little bit less good. Because there's so much climbing around in the Clock Tower. Like, we're going to end up right next to the things that we want to attack a lot. Although I guess I can just melee them. It turns out you can melee pretty well with this particular crossbow. No thank you, and no thank you. And if I'm going to use a melee weapon, it's not going to be this, so... That was tier 8, right? So the question is just, do we unlock it? Do we unlock the Giant Slayer now, or do we unlock it right before the Timekeeper? I don't have a spectacular shield to go with it. I mean, our shield's not bad. Also, you know what we do have is just a huge amount of money, like an absurd amount of money. I should definitely be upgrading items. I kind of like the modifiers on this right now, though. It's just like it does all of the damage over time effects immediately. I guess we'll just hold on to some of this money. And I'm gonna keep necromancy for right now. We totally will respec. You know what? Maybe I should do the Giant Slayer and Frost thing now, so that we can get used to it a little bit, so we're not learning the combo against the boss. Yeah, let's do that. So then, and this is also a thing that we will benefit from spending some gold on. All right, let's see if this actually feels good at all. So we only got a 7++ here. Inflicts a critical hit on elites and bosses for free. And then we replace our shield with you. Wow, that was still the starting shield. Alright, I'm not even going to worry about the modifiers too much, because we're going to upgrade both of these first. Bonus damage to a stun target. Victims freeze enemies when they die. I do like the victims freeze enemies when they die thing. But aside from that, I think the modifiers on this are pretty bad. So let's maybe give that a reroll. Okay, Biter's Crawl from the Dead is fun. I'm going to stick with these for the moment. So I'm trying to think, what else would we really want? We don't really have a lot of application of status effects. Yeah, we're gonna roll this way. So, we do now want to go ahead and reset these. Oh, I reset the heart off. Do I want to take the heart again? I'm gonna take the heart again. And we're gonna grab Heart of Ice. Do we want Gastronomy? Yeah, honestly, it's still pretty good. Okay, so let's get into the clock tower here and then play around with our weapon a little bit. Let's try to figure out how this combo is going to feel. Okay, that doesn't seem that slow for a green weapon. Like, the third hit's pretty slow? That's interesting, though. And then a powerful grenade, which we will not take. So we have two pretty long cooldown green skills that are going to really benefit. Oh, hey! That is upgraded. It used to just throw one projectile, like about the length of the closest one. Can we still throw it while at a... Yeah. Doesn't really have any effect on our movement. Okay, that's interesting. So we just want to make sure that we are doing that as we approach enemies. We would like to only hit people who are slowed, if possible. And just make liberal use of the tonic. Yeah, it seems pretty good, man. Okay, it's not easy to weave the thing in during the attack string. Like, if you start attacking, it's really hard to find time to get the spark off. But I think this has promise. Should I be switching up and taking on new weapons this deep into the run? I don't know, maybe not. Right, the whole point of this is that you should be using our skills a lot because we actually have like a build here. We have a thing that feels like a strategy. I like this. I like this weapon. I did just sit there and let that hit me. It seems like the later strikes in the combo really do considerable damage too. Okay, this is gonna work. I just gotta be a little bit more careful. We are not taking cursed chests anymore. We are all done with that. Now here's the thing I don't know. Do bosses get the same eventual resistance to repeated slow effects that they get against freezes? I mean, they must, right? Because otherwise, if you could keep a boss slowed at the level of slowness we're seeing here for the entire fight, it would completely trivialize every boss fight. Alright, we're just going to keep up our tradition of hitting each of the bells exactly once and just kind of hoping that we accidentally solve the puzzle. I should actually put the effort into unlocking that shield at some point. I think I want to try to avoid the elite. Hold on, I'm gonna apply this, and we're gonna keep our plan up really aggressively here. Alright, it looks like the thing I was testing for there was how much time do we have on the tonic between it fading and us being able to use it again, and it looks like the answer is basically no downtime. If we're really aggressive with our freeze and stuff. Yeah, like right there, as soon as it ended, we got it back. This seems like a pretty good combo. Heart of Ice plus Frost Shards. Real good. I kind of can't believe they buffed the Ice Shard, because like, I really thought it was very good before. Does this one... This has something... There we go. Not anything good. But I mean, it's 1,000 gold. Because, you know, what we need is gold. Oh, that's bad. What if we just always had our tonic on, though? So actually, I wonder... Necromancy might have been a good thing to keep with this, because being at about half health is going to would allow us to basically just keep a huge amount of tonic shield forever. We'd never have to worry about taking any real damage. But I don't know, that's not actually better than just being at high health and using this combination of things to not get hit. Alright, let's go find ourselves a key. Yeah, man, the third strike of that combo really is slow. These guys with their big leaping combo and their bomb dropping and stuff are actually still pretty scary. Even dramatically slowed and everything. Huh. I didn't hear any sound at all from that one. So yeah, as long as we remember to throw the shards as we're approaching enemies, feel like we're in real good position here to not take very much damage. Will this hold up as well against the Timekeeper, who has traditionally been a little bit of an issue for us? My guess is no. He's probably we're gonna be able to slow her like a little bit for the beginning of the fight, and then things are gonna kind of fall apart on us. But hey, the beginning of the fight, it's gonna be glorious. Well, I guess our combo's pretty screwed anyway, so... Wow! Maybe everything's gonna be just fine because the Giant Killer is incredibly powerful when it's hitting its crits? Okay, we have a real strategy here. Gotta remember to throw the ice shards. Stupid shield. Well, we're certainly not going to hit our combo door. I'm doing a terrible job of getting through this without getting hit. But honestly, like a pretty solid job of getting through this without taking damage, if I do say so myself. So these are 8s. The things we just got are 7s. I guess I could re-roll looking for higher versions of the things we're carrying now. I kind of like the things we're carrying now, though. But it might well be worth aggressively re-rolling a skills shop. Which I do not remember if we have found one of those yet. Have we? There's a shop over here. I mean, it's right next to a teleporter. We can just go check. Ow. That was real clumsy. It's real clumsy. Yeah, let's go see. Are you skills? You are skills. Okay, so do we think the Death Orb remains sensible? Maybe at this point we want to pick up a Wolf Trap? Now, don't we have bonus damage on... Oh no, I re-rolled the bonus damage against rooted targets off of some of our stuff. I am going to take this. We're going to drop our Death Orb at this point for a better quality of Wolf Trap. And then... Like, what is even the difference here? Not much, it seems like. I guess the top one has 4 traits. I do wish that the burning the ground happened at the beginning of the effect at the same time as the oil, but... I don't know that I want to pay money for an upgrade to that. I think the one we have now is plenty good. Alright, so we have the key, we can just leave, but obviously there's still stuff to loot. By the way, I'm not talking about it. This is a thing that I know about myself. I have a tendency to not really talk about the things that are going right and vocalize a lot about things that are going wrong. Really actually doing very well on just taking damage over the course of this whole run, right? We have not been hit very much. We have not spent very much time low on health. We haven't had to spend a flask charge. We haven't had to spend our heart. It feels pretty good. It feels like we're doing pretty well. And I think we've got a gimmick that might keep us moving through this boss fight. Although, of course, I wouldn't mind going back to full health before fighting the boss. I'm sure we'll get low enough for the tonic to be good again. No, absolutely not. As much as I like Lacerating Aura, not a good fit. Okay, so there's 2 more Scrolls of Power and a treasure chest. And the other one is off color, which is a little bit unfortunate. Boy, it seems like this weapon holds its combo progress really well. I still don't know if it is actually a thing, or if I'm just imagining it, that it seems like some weapons hold their combo progress for longer. But if that's a thing, this weapon is doing it. And we may as well go all the way up and get the chest, right? Who knows? It could have anything in it, even one of the things that we already have, which is really all I would want. Yep, it is a very, very slow third hit. That's kind of an interesting idea, though. A slow weapon where the slowness is in the middle rather than at the being front-loaded. Now we have to live in fear of that guy for the rest of our lives. All right. Yeah, I think we're ready to do this. I'm trying to remember. Is there a food shop in either of the post-clockroom biomes? I don't think so. And I'm not actually sure if it will end up being the case that it makes that the distillery will be easier for us on this run. It might not be. I think we're just gonna bank cells and throw cells into the forge. Maybe I'm being a little bit presumptuous, but I think we're gonna make it through the boss fight. Okay, bonus damage to enemies covered in burning oil, which doesn't really work that well for us. I think we're gonna reroll this a little. So this starts a burn as soon as it's applied to me. If we could get this to spread oil again, it would actually be pretty powerful. Bonus damage, 2600 DPS for 5 seconds? Really? Oh wow, our sword is... Jeez, I mean, I guess we have a lot of scrolls? I really, really want to see spreads oil. Okay, trap spreads oil. We have our tonic to start the fire immediately. This does bonus damage to, unfortunately, things that we can't really, status effects that we can't really apply. We do have a poison for our swords bonus damage. Yeah, okay. We could respec our mutations for the fight, remove gastronomy, which obviously is not super good here, but I think we're not going to. Alright, so just remember to keep the slow up, and mash the hell out of tonic every time it comes off cooldown. If we can get the boss caught in the wolf trap, so as to get some uninterrupted melee time, I think that's going to be pretty good. Yeah, man, look at that. You coward. I am not getting the tonic uptime that I would like. There we go. I just completely missed with the frost shards like 3 times in a row there. This is really working. Oh, just run right into the trap, why don't you? Yeah, okay. This feels like a pretty good build. And I like it because it feels like I'm actually having to play the game, which is... it makes me feel less insecure about my performance, which I appreciate. No. No, I kind of like our the silly gimmick we have going here. Okay, should we flask? I kind of think, if we can just keep this combo thing going, I kind of think we're better off doing that and waiting until we find some food to gastronomize. So you know what? Yeah, take another 187 cells. Oh, 5%. Oh, right. On 3 cells, you can only get up to 50%, so we're seeing 1/10 of half of the bar. Well, now we will occasionally, very occasionally, find an item that is already S quality. So, is the distillery a good idea with the gear that we have? You know, honestly, I do think it's still easier than High Peak. The castle is a real nightmare in a whole bunch of ways. The sword enemies, the sword spinny guy enemies, are going to be a problem for any melee build, like a huge problem. And we have a pretty good ranged weapon here for the purposes of redirecting barrels. Nope, get up there. Not quite as effective as I would like. Actually, never mind. It is totally recharging the tonic fast enough. Now, obviously, it would be nice if we could get a little bit of food here. We do, remember, have the... Ooh, okay, that scared the hell out of me. We do have the heart still, so if we take a bad hit and end up, quote-unquote, dying, we still won't actually lose. I know what's up here. What am I doing? That's just going to be the way to the barrel launcher, and I don't actually want to take the barrel launcher. You could take the barrel launcher to give yourself an easier time solving some of like the little combat puzzle parts of this area, but who needs it, I say. I do love the biters. They're so adorable, too. That's what I really want. I want a nice combination between horrific ferocity and cuteness. You find just the right balance. Take that, you fool. I wonder if I get, if I were ever to do it correctly, I wonder if I would get Heart of Ice procs for hitting with the barrel. I guess Heart of Ice only procs on melee attacks anyway, doesn't it? So never mind. I really thought there might be more enemies up here. Just always have tonic on while we're fighting, for the just in case. I should not have gone there. That was not a safe thing to do. Oh, right, this hallway. This hallway that we always see. Maybe I should... Nope, get away from me. Okay, slowing them seems to be good enough to stop them from really being a problem. Yeah, well, that's unfortunate. I mean, it was either that or spend a flask charge. I think I would rather lose the heart. You know what, honestly, two things are not really all that different. But yeah, I always forget about the, burst of spikes attack. It sucks, and I hate it. Alright, well, that'll have to do. Okay, so probably I do need to flask. I'm just gonna withdraw for a moment here. Let my invisibility hit. I mean, I did just get my... You know what? We're gonna do this with the tonic. There's gotta be food somewhere, right? There's always food eventually. Oh, I did actually kill the guy. Please just die. Please just die. Oh, God. All doing abilities and stuff. Why can't you just die like a normal person? I still stand by. I think they maybe overdid it with this area a little bit. Like, it is a lot easier than the castle. And yeah, I recognize how that's kind of a funny thing to say when I'm like over here constantly almost dead. Immediately retonic. I'm trying to get away from him. Okay. I got a little closer than I would have liked. Honestly, that didn't even do that much damage to our tonic shield. Did I not? No, I totally did not throw the wolf trap. I hit the button, but I was also doing, you know, a lot of other animations at the time, so I could see how it might not have gone off. But I don't want to drink the flask. I hear what you're all saying. But what if, like, the food that I thought we were guaranteed would just actually drop? Wouldn't that be neat? Because, you know, as soon as I use the flask, all of a sudden we're going to get that food. Alright. I can do this. There we go. So our distillery key will be back here, right? This is this room. You know, it's entirely possible that we're not actually guaranteed any food. That it's just like, that with the chances of things dropping, it's just very, very likely that you will get food. So we might be operating under some false assumptions here. Absolutely not. What a terrible draw. I'm debating how much I want to, like, actually explore looking for the food. If we see the way to the exit, do we just go? I mean, this right here is the exit, so I think the answer is yes. Not even 100% sure what hit me there. Back off a little bit. Let this refresh, and then come back in with a brand new tonic shield. Ooh, okay. Maybe you can't take damage from barrels that you kick? Because if we could, if we can, I think I would have there. Ow. Thought we were going to be okay. Got a little overconfident there. Just gonna let him do his thing up there. Alright, just in case. Hey, guy. Okay, now we kill you. Had to be sure I didn't slow him there, because it would have made him never throw the barrel. It is really a huge amount of slow. So, do we go looking for the food that we may or may not be guaranteed somewhere on this level in the hopes of getting to not have to flask right away at the beginning of the coming fight? Or do we just mitigate risk right now, go through, go ahead and flask? I'm not 100% sure. I'm gonna not chance it. Because, of course, we could find the food, but also we could end up just going over there and dying, or going over there, finding ourselves in a position where we have to flask, and then finding that we finding that we end up losing a bunch of health after that anyway, and like actually ending up in a worse position. So there's a decent chance that we're not going to make it through this. I would say better than even. Let's pour some cells into something. We should unlock Tactical Retreat, I guess. And then just... are there any changes I want to make? I think I'm actually pretty happy with our modifiers here. We could reroll a whole bunch looking for God knows what. I guess we should reset our mutations. We should not have gastronomy anymore. It does not make any sense to have gastronomy. So maybe we take like Heart of Ice and Frostbite, or maybe something relating to our flask. Because we could take, where is it? We could take Tainted Flask. We could take, wasn't there another red one that affected how your flask treats you? Oh, maybe not. The flask's effect is spread over 15 seconds is a little bit terrifying to me. Enemies suffer 1100 damage per second while they are slowed is pretty considerable. Disengagement is not horrible. Instinct of the Master of Arms would mean that we are like every one of our melee attacks is going to be a crit for the whole fight. But I think we're already in a place where we're like I don't know that this is going to do anything for us. I think Heart of Ice already is going to put us on pretty constant, I guess Heart of Ice is going to be enough to make it so that we are recovering our flask faster than we're losing it to the timeout effect of the flask, but it's not necessarily going to recover it faster than we're taking damage, because we're up against a very dangerous boss. So, yeah, I think that's going to be better than taking a flask modification, and then there's no reason not to just do this right away. The wolf trap works on the boss, right? I'm pretty sure we can root him. I'm like 30% sure we can root him. I guess we're gonna find out. Definitely nervous. Like pretty nervous. Yeah, okay, he roots properly. It doesn't seem to last for a very long time, but oof. Okay, yep, even with the extra cooldown reduction, we are not getting this this cooldown back as fast as I would like. That said, holy shit, look at the damage. Oh, don't jump in the spikes for him. Make him push you in. Make him do the work. Why am I having such a hard time with this part? There we go. Yo, so this whole tonic thing doesn't seem like it was necessary against the boss at all, because look at the amount of damage we are doing. It turns out the giant killer's amazing. Yeah, I'm not confident at all there that we would have run out of health, even if we had not had the tonic effect. Like, we might have had to flask one time during that fight, maybe. So the giant killer's huge. Defeating the giant was awesome, and this is by far the furthest I have ever been in this game. Okay, so we've unlocked 4 cells. The incorruptible Hand of the King outfit. You know, he is just straight up murdering his king. I feel like he's pretty corrupted. It's possible that he doesn't realize that I'm his king. So there's still this thing. We're close. We're close to being able to see what's behind this door. I'm going to level with you. I did not think we were going to make it this far during the series. I did not think we were going to beat 3 cells. So I guess we're good. You know, all that stuff I was saying about momentum. Apparently momentum is a real thing. Okay, so here's what I know about 4 cells. On 4 cells, I believe all enemies cause malaise. Like, anytime you get hit, you get malaised. So, obviously, that's going to have a pretty big effect on what strategies are available. When you drink your flask, you lose malaise. And I think food heals some as well. It's definitely going to be a little bit of a different feeling to the game. I cannot believe how well this has been going. Okay, so now we can improve the Legendary Forge all the way up to all the way up to 100% S items. There are even more cells found on enemies. I believe that removes all possible ways of refilling your health flask is the same text that was on 3 cells, right? So yeah, so that's a lie. There are still flask refills in the shop. I mean, maybe this isn't gonna be all that much harder. We just have to basically never get hit, because malaise. Malaise is a bad time. I'm over the moon, though. This is really, really cool. And you know, I kind of appreciate, I think we have mostly gotten our hand of the king kills with different strategies, right? Like, I think it's been sort of a different strategy each time. Alright, well, that is definitely all we have time for today. Thank you all so much for watching. When you come back next time, tomorrow, our next run is going to be totally sick. But, you know, probably mostly in a bad way, though. And we'll see you then.